remains what is left of the land that yearns to be so blessed. Green turned grave descent, and hate has burnt the rest. Tell me what you see. Are the skies ablaze with deep agony? Are the fields so discontent that grounds
Hello again. I may have actually not muted when I did that big old cough, so apologies for that. Hello again, everybody. Give me 1 second. You can see I'm not entirely oriented here, so you get to watch some more, or you get to hear some more of me fiddling around with my video setup. My favorite thing, and probably yours too. What are we doing? We got the main window here, and it should be this one. Preview window still looks good. Okay, hello, we can start properly now. Hi, everybody. Is there an everybody right now? Is there an anybody right now? Looks like it's just you, future VOD watcher. Hearing my cat click around in her food bowl back there. Big coughs, starting with some beautiful a sonic medley to get you started off. Let's do one more quick boost on the socials to let everybody know. And we are back to doing kitty cat commissions. In fact, we are doing the very last of the kitty cat commissions. You can see I'm not quite as far along as I tend to be when I start these off. I usually like to have my whole sketch worked out for good before I start. But if I'm being honest, I'm pretty close as is. I would say I've got enough revision slapped all over everything to get kicked off. Let me just do one. I'm going to do one last little pass of kind of ironing out my final silhouettes and the like, so you get to watch a little bit more of the process than usual. I've got another. I'm discovering a theme among my commissioners are nervous, flirty boys. And I've got another couple of those today. Like I said, just give me one moment to kind of iron down exactly what shapes and silhouettes I want. You can see here's my first draft of the art, along with all my myriad of notes to self scribbled all over them. And a few more corrections on top. And let's get one more keyframe in there. Get one more keyframe in there, is what I said. There we go. And just kind of pin down exactly what curves and shapes and specifics I want in here before I start. Because I know myself well enough to know I am going to want to change some things along the way. And it's going to be a whole lot more difficult to do that if I've already made the art. Solve problems before they come up. That's the corrected head position. Let's make this. Well, no, I don't want that to be less visible because that's what I'm about to draw on. Anyway. I'm kind of going for a very specific, a somewhat more specific. Like I obviously I'm always doing like retro stuff, a retro look and all that. I just saw his name. Of course, I'm forgetting it. There's an artist, old UPA guy, shock of all shocks. That I'm trying to be a little more direct. John Hubley. His big thing, the when you Google his name, the thing that comes up is a cartoon called Rudy Toot Toot. Really fun shape breakdowns and things like that. Here, you know what? In fact, I ought to have a thing in here that I can just show you. Do I? Turn this on. There we go. Here we go. You can see these really super, like, I mean, you can't really see my cursor, but if you look at that that guy in the middle, just very, very broad strokes, broad shapes, a lot of continuing contours. Probably the thing I've copied the least accurately so far. See if I can't hit that a little bit harder on these revisions before I start going in and doing the art. That means we'll probably not quite get as far as we usually do in these. I like to have my finished art at the end of stream 1 and then do my animation in stream 2. But if I know my me, getting all the art for 2 different characters ain't quite gonna get done. But that's okay. We will do what we can do. And like I said, the thing I think I've replicated the least accurately is that kind of continuity of shape, super clear silhouette. Not that, I'm under any obligation to do anything exactly the way this one guy did it. But I don't know, signposts are useful. So what if I just brought it all the way up like that? I do like the idea of kind of continuing this over. Maybe. Big ol' maybe. These are a couple of OCs from I'm gonna take a big swing. Shanice Tio. It's not that crazy of a name. It's just one of those things where it's like there's 2 possible pronunciations, and whichever one it's not is the one that the person is sick of hearing. So try to be accommodating. See, that would I guess normally if I were to be really strict to the style, I'd probably just have an arm come across something like that. I was about to make an excuse as to why I didn't need to do that, but then I saw it and I liked it. I do want to keep that these sharp. You got one character that's the sharp angles. You have one character that's the round shapes. Ooh, I like that a lot. This is why we do these revisions. Because then we get nice surprises. I also have one extra complication where I really want this character to... Yeah, that's the other thing. Like these kind of overlapping shapes would usually be exactly what you try to avoid. Or that Hubert tried to avoid, rather. Hubly? I just said it. Of course I've forgotten. Hubly. But I also really want... The whole idea is these 2 are bumping their heels together. And is shaking one of them to his core and less so the other. So, which also is probably a good reason for me to, kind of continue this over. Maybe I should be streaming the more concept-y parts of this more often, because I'm immediately having fun. Yeah. You know what? I'm going to lean too hard into these curves, knowing full well I'm going to chip away at them and make them a little bit weaker as I revise. Because that's just how that goes. And then I can bring the head even farther forward. Whoops. Like that. Which I think will probably make the whole thing a lot stronger. Got this coffee lid death clutch here. Which I don't have an explanation as to why. I've always thought was like... I'm dancing around the word hot for something that sounds more artistically legitimate. But maybe I just think it looks hot and I don't have an explanation as to why. That would be like... I do like continuing these shapes, but I'm losing some of that I've referenced in other streams that kind of sense memory, that kind of tactile sense of the materials, and especially for something that's going to be kind of like flirty. I definitely don't want to lose that for good. But figured out. Open collar. I don't know whether I want to continue that around the back or kind of emphasize it being. I like that. Screw it. I like that. Keep it like that. I'm already on something I like a lot more. Cool. Revisions are one of those things that like I definitely like. It's easy to resent, and I'm a huge process guy. I'm an efficiency guy. I'm very much in the camp of don't waste my time. But goddamn, when it makes things better, it makes things so much better. Nervous little hands. Just square those off. I like how delicate they make his fingers, but since I'm bringing his neck forward now, so like I'll get the body first because look at these two heads, it's confusing me. So this one's going to be a little harder because I'm not going to have that. I want him to be curvier. I want his hoodie to be kind of bunching up. So that's going to be a good opportunity for me to lose that kind of continuity of line that I'm so in love with all of a sudden. But God bless you, grab tool. Cannot stress enough how much the sculpt tools in grease pencil saved my life. Just like revisioning without having to redraw something over and over and over and over again. Ugh. I don't have to live in the I don't have to live in undue hell anymore. And I'll probably just do the little jeans bunching. Because you can see I have this doing the whole bit of the lines just on top of the solids instead of having them actually be connected. So maybe all that like tactile stuff I was talking about being afraid of losing, maybe that'll just all be on top. Because then I can like have that nice Converse silhouette, nice little jean I don't know what you call them, the jean hipster ankle bunch that, if I'm being honest, I also find very attractive. That's what we're going for here. So yeah, look how much happier I already am. Oh, I've been doing this whole thing without music, haven't I? Give me 1 second. Let me turn that on. This is also why I tend to not stream this part of it, is because it's very easy for me to get really in the zone and kind of lose track of everything. Maddie Lim, let's get going. Alrighty, so I have this bunching up in the hoodie here. I got that little like extra puff for the like armpit bunching, but maybe that's overcomplicating things. And we want chest puff out so that rigid. I'm acting it out as though you can see it. That kind of like rigid, almost at attention nervousness. I have his, you know, when I have his head yanked forward. Basically with the goal, that's getting a little too loud. Basically with the goal being to make a little bit of room back here for his ponytail and the like, but maybe I don't like that. Maybe that's too much of like a, well, try it. Let's find out. Nice little continuity of line here. Kind of going into his bangs makes this little spiral kind of shape. Wait, what do I turn off to not see the wrong thing? Oops, what was I drawing on? Oh, I was on that. I just turned off the keyframe. I want the keyframe. That's what's okay. So that's what I did to myself. Just do this. Yeah. Now way down. Like that. It's that the boy band bangs, the like hidden. The hidden secret of the boy band bangs isn't just the like the kind of like Sailor Moon M shape. Like it's not even just the boy band bangs isn't just this. It's the like flatness of the bang as it comes forward. Like I don't know how to describe it. At least like to me, like that's Sailor Moon bangs. And then that's boy band bangs. And I couldn't tell you what the difference is or why it matters. But it does. They're two different things. And again, that's violating our shape language just a little bit, but whatever works wins. So let's see if this works. If he's leaning forward like that, feel like you still like this here, the hoodie kind of leading in. You know what? His head isn't forward enough. Because it is unnatural, it feels unnatural, but he's feeling unnatural, right? Maybe? Am I just rationalizing? Or does this make sense? Thing is, these are two different moods. This is nervousness, that's dread. And I don't want dread. So it's like this wins. So I was worried his head was too small before, now I'm worried it's too big. This is just to figure out my contours, my curves, and the like. I need to get so nervous about it. So I also wanted the other arm in here, so then that would be like something like that. That's not quite it, but it's close. Then the hair. Maybe the ponytail can just be like bup. No, Too similar. Dot, dot. Yeah, that works. Have the ponytail holder here to tell you that the ponytail is there. Still not 100% on this face. But I feel like I'm close. Yeah, that looks good. This looks weird. I think it's because I pulled this inward, but I also wanted the scar. He's got all these scars on his cheeks, and I wanted the scar to kind of like be the cheekbone also. Maybe that works. Maybe that doesn't. Maybe it just makes him look skinnier than I want him to be. I don't know. I think this is good enough to start arting. Are there any other changes I want to make? There's also a bench that's going to be in here. Me making a bench is not actually going to be all that interesting, so I'm not going to sit here and make you watch that. Flipping through things, looking at stuff, checking some stuff that you can't see. Cool. So, we want to build this. Trying to think off the top of my head if, cause I guess I could be blocking in my animation, or yeah, blocking in my animation shapes now first, just to make sure I build my art in a way that makes sense for the animation I want to do. But the animation I want to do is pretty simple, so I don't think I really need to kill myself with that, or don't need to worry too much about that right now. Yeah, F it. Let's start making the art. So let's go do our guy on top first. So that is very similar names, and I want to make sure I get them right. Azrael. Okay, so it's AZR. Get a folder. And I want to build this. I want to have, because I do like, yeah, actually I do really like the way I chose to, I got qualms about the specifics, but I like the way I chose to block these colors, so I guess I'm going to still do that. So why don't I start with, no, they shouldn't. I'm going to start with torso, just the main central torso blob, which should theoretically just be one shape. I also have to be real careful because I was complaining about this earlier. Grease Pencil 3, the new Grease Pencil, loves to ruin corners when you interpolate. So if I go like ga, and then duplicate it and I move that over here, and then I try to interpolate these frames. You know what, that didn't happen that much there. Maybe we don't have to worry so much, but like, let's say I make this literally a square. Move it, and then I try to interpolate. That's fascinating, but what if I don't move it? Does it break then? Alright, well, it's just making me a liar. I'm just getting Michigan J Frogged by Blender right now. I assure you, Blender's current Grease Pencil has trouble with corners on interpolation. It's just pretending like it don't to make me look a fool. So the torso, I wanted one solid color blob like that. And leave it unconnected. I should have stabilized strobe on because that looks real sloppy. Leave it unconnected at the point, because that'll actually help mitigate that problem of sharp bits getting ruined. Because Blender doesn't average the sharp bits, as far as I can tell, come from the way that Blender's math averages out the position of points relative to the points on either side of them. But if I don't close the thing, these 2 points don't have points on both sides. They only have them on one side. So they don't get averaged out, and they stay put. Let's cut that off there, and then I'm going to give him this nice sharp butt. A gentleman's sharp butt cheek. Do 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 do. Apologies if getting any doubling on the music. It shouldn't be too bad. I'm just trying to be at least a little bit aware of what's going on sonically. Let's average these points out a little bit. Whoa! See? That's why I need to be listening to this stuff. Be ready. Moments like that. That's Man, I've been listening to these in my off time, and Telebasher's music I really do enjoy, but maybe having it part of the same playlist as everything else is lobbing some hand grenades into my future. And I wanted... You want to know a secret? If you look up at in the upper right, that little preview thing, you can use this gray color to kind of carve out shapes. That gray color is the same color as the background. Look how clever I am. I don't want to do that whole complicated shape, so I'm just going to go nert, zert, warp. Smooth out the points a little bit, just for predictability's sake. I think that's all I really want to do with the torso right now. I'm wondering, do I want to put lines around it? I'll put lines around it now. I reserve the right to take them out later. I also think my lines might be just a little bit too depth for what I'm going for. Well, maybe. Keep picking that preview. No, they're not. Maybe barely. I don't know. 0.02. What does that look like? Let's do 0.03, and then let's make the ease a little lighter. Maybe that will solve all my problems and pay all my bills. Oh, and hello to Formars. Hello, stream friend. I know Formars from a couple really good Discords. Yeah, I think I will put actual strokes on. Will I? Yeah, I will. I'll actually outline the whole body for both of them. Maybe I'll take a look at it with and without, but if I want to do that, that means I have to do it with first. So I think my worry is the crossing of the lines. But if I look back at Rudy Toot Toot, which I of course just closed, like a smart boy I am. And again, not that I'm obligated to strictly follow what anybody else is doing, but I don't know, little guiding lines like this can be helpful. Well, you know, they don't have it on the whole all around, do they? Yeah, they're just kind of like, let's look at this guy in his like his like seersucker ballet suit. Yeah, they basically just pop in for the outline bits, and then her, by contrast, like she's got it all around the outside, but that's because that's her skin. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no outlines for now. because I think what would be fun is no outlines on the bulk of the silhouette, like no outlines on all the suit parts. Even though I had them off for like on here, I had them off. Are you still looking at Birdie 22? Yeah, you are. Because I had them off here, even though you can't see them connected to the suit, which you ostensibly should. Still like it. Still like how it looked. I'm gonna have to do some if I do that, I'm gonna have to do some masking on the arm over here, but oh, God forbid. It's not gonna be miserable. Okay, so yeah. Torso. And then would that also include the... Yeah, but also include the collar stuff. And the head will be on top. If I want to move the head, I'll have to move the neck, but then the neck can be on the head layer. Okay. Just doing my doing a little bit of quarterbacking here. Planning everything out. So line. Got that nice open collar. Forcing myself to be okay with the fact that it doesn't line up properly. Knowing full well that is the look I'm going for, but I feel like every artist has stuff where, like, if they see something in somebody else's work, they think it's really cool, and then if it shows up in their own, they can't stand it. It feels awful. Oh, that means if I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna have to... I want to keep that sharp shape language. Bring this in, try to make a nice little corner here. And Sculpt Tool, just in Sculpt stuff, loves to round off your corners. How about a little bit less skin here? Kind of make that line a little more imperfect. Feels facetious to correct something into being imperfect, but I got a look I'm going for. Damn it. Gotta decide whether... I really gotta decide whether I wanted to have the... I like the arms not continuing over here, and I can't decide... You know why? It's because it has a vest look, and I'm not necessarily going for him wearing a vest, but... I like the implication. I like the visual language of it. So, screw it. Alright, so that's torso for now. Let's do all that head stuff I was worrying about. It's probably a good idea to get his head solved. Heads. I know I'm gonna want to have just my little masked fakey shape here. And give him that skinny internalized head thing for now. Oops. Again, I reserve the right to change all my opinions at any time. I had a hair that I actually really liked. Maybe I gotta draw that back in again. Yeah. I'm gonna put that focus on here. Let's quickly sketch it in. It was like blurp, glop, bleep, blue, nert, nort. This doesn't have to be like this in the end, just so as long as I have something to go off of. Cool. Hair. Now here's the other trick. I'm gonna have a temporary hair material here because the character has hair that's like blue on the sides and, or sorry, black on the sides and blue on top. And this is black and white, and that blue shouldn't be there, but I've been having fun slotting in some impossible, like a little pop of impossible colors every here and there. So I'm just gonna make a different hair material to give myself the option to do that later. I'm also giving this guy much higher vampire peak, or much higher widow's peak than I think he actually has. But we want to play up him being an older guy. Him being older is part of the appeal, so let's lean into it. That's actually kind of like it sitting on top like that. Even if I do go with blue, that is the wrong blue for, like, if you look at that preview thing, that is screaming. I just need to bring it down a little, maybe. Maybe. I don't even know if I'm going to keep it anyway, so no need to worry too much right now. I also might be doing these in the wrong, like, layer order. But I'm sure I'll give myself plenty of other fixing homework along the way. You two get close. Don't merge, just get close to each other. It'll stay nice and pointy. Okay. So, eyebrows. Big ol' heavy, thick, black eyebrows. Also juggling a lot of windows, bouncing back and forth between this reference, this other reference, etc., etc. That I'm sparing you all from. Lean a little harder into that, like, that back pop-up point. It's always a fun challenge to try and get somebody to look intimidating and also attractive and also relaxed and casual. What's my rule? Draw everything as few times as possible. If you make something, make it so it's easy to reuse it later. If you already have it done, don't do it again. Because we are professionals. We have to consider our efficiency. Time spent. Also this eyebrow. Hold on, I gotta test something. Gotta check the layer order here. And that likely won't even matter, but you want predictability. You want to know it's not going to matter. Okay, so and I like the idea of the scars that I'm also doubling as faux cheekbones, being white. Being white lines. Yeah, Formar says, I learned that repeatability, a reusability lesson while coding. I kind of did the same thing. I'm not a coder, really, but I worked in After Effects for a good long while, and one of the things we did is we saved a lot of time by making a bunch of useful scripts. Stuff like scripts that would, for example, automatically give us secondary animation on things like hair or I don't know, floppy arms and the like. And every time we came up with that script, we didn't want to have to like rewrite it every time. So like I just have somewhere in my like personal Discord is a channel that's just nothing but like After Effects scripts for me to copy and paste into stuff. And then the more I got into the habit of doing that with code, the more I got in the habit of doing that with assets, and the more I got in the habit of doing that with assets, then with drawings, and etc., etc., etc. It is a good way to be. Alright, he's got... In the reference, he's got 2 eyes, but one of them is like, you know, whatever happened to him to give him that scar left his eye like blank white. And I like the idea of having that scar just completely cover his eye and make it disappear, almost like a cartoon cat. It's not, I wouldn't call it a joke, but it is fun and funny, and I like it. Reorder. Get exactly in front of the hair and no farther. Yeah, I do constantly do that repeatability stuff with geometry nodes. It's like the reason, it's honestly the reason I make nodes more often than not, is to give myself something I can reuse. And God, well, you know what? You can even see it in my compositing setup. So like, here's the compositing setup I've used for all of my all of these like retro UPA looking commissions. It's why if you look in the upper right, it's why you can see this like grain that's all over everything. And if I hit play, you can even see the jitter of the like ostensible film reel and everything. But again, just built it once. Blender does this awesome thing. Oh yeah, this is also how I put my signature on everything, as I have a little node set up that I actually just rebuilt this yesterday to give myself a few more options. But like, I can just, now I've got all the like controls that I need sitting on top. Splender's node system fucking rules. This is the thing I use to like apply a different color tint to them. I just call it the Oldener node, and it's got like, I'll save real quick in case I crash something. Like, here's the amount of like lens distortion that's happening from the projector, how blurry the projector ends up looking, the amount of grain in the film reel, etc., etc. How strong the the bulb of the camera's visibility is and all that. But yeah, I built that once and got it to where I liked it. Never got it. Now doing all those filters and everything, just a quickie little slap on. That's how I like to work. His lips, I wanted to something like that. Maybe not. Well, you know, I say not so round, they're not so sharp. They do keep saying that's the point. He doesn't have a lip ring. No, but the scar does go across his mouth. Do I want to? How do I want to handle that? It's gonna look like I just drag this all the way across. Is that behind? Oh, because duh, I drew this last. Forward. So you are exactly behind the nose. Again, layer order. Everything. So even though this is like stuff that's I'm probably not gonna have to worry about, never really gonna come up, but when it does, I don't want that to be when I have to fix it. Okay, so do I like that? How much do I like that? Does it just need to be thinner? That does look good when it's thinner. What if I just bring the thickness out here? Maybe that's a little too much. Yeah, that's good. It's fun. Some Leon. I actually really like Leon stuff. I used this in my first director reel I ever made. So Leon stuff gets loud. Use lines to be the beard. Beardy beard set. Forward, and bring that beard backward. The other ones have to accommodate for the nose at all. Just far enough to be behind that scar. I don't know why I didn't wait to do that. I got this going. Am I gonna outline the ear here? Probably. Yeah, because if I'm looking at the preview, it's just gone. So, yeah, I missed. Back and forth on it there. Yeah. Sending it backwards. Even with all those concessions I'm making, these character designs are still really elaborate compared to what Rudy Toot Toot was doing. But I don't know. No gods, no masters, I guess. I'm still not crazy about the head shape. But maybe, does it look better when I lose that? Maybe. I don't know. that's something that I can work out in revision. Oh, in the neck. I said I wanted a neckline. It could be neart. And needs to be sent to all the way in the back. Be behind everything. Okay, so that's that. Let's do the legs next. Where'd my music go? Seems quieter. It's still going. All right. Just making sure. Do I want both legs to be on the same layer? I probably, because they're crossed, and that'll make that a lot. I feel like that'll help my sanity if they're both on the same layer. I'm worried I'm gonna have to move them independently of each other, but probably not at the same time. Yeah. Screw it. Leggies. And this one. Let's go. Dot. Move you out. Just like I said with the torso, I want to limit the lines to just where they absolutely need to be. So basically just where the legs are crossing each other. Let's do exactly how that's going to look and or work. I think we'll find that out together. No. That's not quite what I wanted, construction-wise. And knee. Sure, why not? Probably just have another little blocking fill at the ankle there. I feel like I keep seeing, I feel like it's a rich guy thing to wear like wear dress shoes in such a way that like the bare ankle shows, or at least that's like, I don't know, the casual way of wearing dress shoes or whatever. I don't know what rich fancy guys do. I'm gonna go for some skin anyway. Again, I'm trying to sell how panic-inducingly attractive this guy is, so I'll tell you, I don't know rich fashion. I do know Star Trek fashion, and I cannot remember his name for the life of me, but the guy who did all the costume design for the original Star Trek series, and I think for most of Next Generation too, he had a big thing where it was like, well, when I needed a character to look sexy, can't really show too much cleavage, can't show too much butt or anything like that. So I just kind of went looking for the parts of the skin that you don't see that often, no matter what that is. So like parts of the back, or maybe like exposing a bit of rib underneath the armpit, or I don't know, thighs but not calves, something. And basically he said like, yeah, I slowly discovered that like, oh, you just expose some skin. It doesn't matter what skin, just let some of it come out. So anyway, that's why I'm gonna be exposing some of that slutty ankle. Speaking of which, bop. And the shoe, I think I actually am gonna add some detail into the shoe because fancy dress shoes thing, that is a big part of the appeal of a older rich guy. So we can complicate that a little bit. Maybe like that, and then that, yeah, and then I'm not really that much of a shoe guy. I was talking about this. I'm surely must have brought this up at some stream. The first thing I ever got to art direct on, all the characters were shoes, and so I basically very suddenly got a crash course on shoe anatomy, for want of a better term. And just like anything else, if you know how something is put together, all of a sudden you're much better at drawing it. I should also be referencing some actual shoes right now, shouldn't I? I'm referencing a drawing of them, so that counts. I'm referencing the character. How about that? Why isn't this working? I don't like this. It's because toe shape isn't dynamic enough, I think. Yeah, there we go. Hope that looks good. Hope that doesn't just make him look like Pee Wee Herman. I've never completely recovered from watching an episode of Lupin the Third, and Lupin goes to some formal, fancy dress something or other, and he is 100% wearing a Pee Wee Herman suit, gray suit, red bow tie, like everything. Which is not fair. There was not a Pee Wee Herman when they made that show. There is now. And that's what I see. And I see that. Yeah, I feel like that suit also surely has some specific history to it. Like there's a reason why it's a particularly nice suit. Do I want to do laces? It'd be like, I was gonna say be too much focus on the foot, but the feet is the point of this thing we're making, or this piece. Staring at it for a second. Maybe does it also need one of these? Should be squaring off the toe, but does it? Does that fight the design I'm going for? Yeah, I don't hate that. Cool. And we have a perfectly good leg here. So let's make some use out of it. Get that in shape. I do spend a lot of time fretting over whether or not whether this whole process actually does not save me any time, since I'm so insistent on making sure every frame gets touched and everything gets a little bit of tweak. But I don't know. Something I say all the time when I'm selling this process to people is when it falls down and when it like completely fails, like our worst case scenario is we just animate it regularly, like regular style. So like, yeah, if I'm screwing this up and I'm wasting all my time, that time wasting takes the form of animation. So I can't be too mad about it. Much higher heel on this one, which is quote wrong end quote, but if I wanted perfect technical representation, I'd be a photographer. What does this look like on its own so far? Alright, the leg crossing is mostly coming across. Basically, I'm trying to figure out exactly how much line work I'm going to need to add to sell it. Or if I can just go like that. And I guess that. And maybe this. Yeah, it's pretty distracting. What if I do that and this? I guess this has to come along too. I kind of don't hate that. Like, everything in me says that you need this bottom line too. But it squints real good. What if, how about if I just make a T? Like that. Yeah, Rocco. No one's gonna notice the length of the shoes. You're right, and that's also, this is one of those things where it's like, you know, the advice you give to other people that you have a really hard time following. Something I was telling somebody on something I worked on was like some errors are things we have to fix, and some errors are little presents that we leave for people who look for errors. Let's do arm here. Let's start drawing the arm. First, let me do the like just basic line above and like the line above and left of the legs. Maybe I can still revise this. Like I'll keep looking at it until I decide what I want to do. I reserve the right to change any of this. So here's the small dilemma is, again, if I'm strictly following the kind of style I'm aping here, this is what this arm should look like. I want to be able to feel how much smaller that cuff is. You know what I mean? Like when you're wearing a dress shirt, how you get that like extra fabric where the cuff ends. That's the kind when I'm talking about sense memory, that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. So I'm gonna add a wrinkle. Getting a lot of use out of this kind of like triangle wrinkle kind of thing. I'm gonna go like, I don't want it to be too far, so maybe like just enough, and then have it come down a tiny bit. Give them something to complain about. Kind of, but it's also one of those things that like I used to love finding art errors, and it wasn't to like make myself, and it wasn't for like, haha, I got you, you guys screwed that up. For me personally, and this also reveals like, you know, how I like to interpret media. Especially when I was a kid, whenever I would see that, I got kind of like, I would get excited because it's like, oh, that's like a clue as to how cartoons get made. Like the little mistakes and stuff like that. It was like some indication of like, oh, it's interesting that like, you know, oh, that character's, I don't know, head disappeared for a second, or like the color on this piece of the shirt changed and then changed back, and like, and I could just, there was something in me that I'm like, somewhere in there is the like, is the like clue to how they make cartoons. And so yeah, that's why that's why I used to love looking for art errors when I was or not looking for art errors, but whenever I would like catch one in something I was watching when I was a little kid, I was fascinated by it. I'm really enjoying the skin tone being the color of the canvas. I'm doing that on a few different things, and I keep liking it. I'm dying to finish these up. This is, I think I said at the beginning of the stream, this is probably my very last of these emergency commissions finally getting cleared out. And enormous thank yous to everybody who got one. There may be one more, like a bonus one after that from somebody who was very excited to get more than one. But I'm really looking forward to having these cleared out, and I can get back to doing Aaron again, which is still the same style, and it's still going to be a very similar process. But it's different. It's my thing. It's my little baby. So This character is also missing a finger, which, not that hands weren't hard enough to draw, but adds a small complication. That's alright. Actually, don't think. Because, like, I'm looking at this, I'm just like, yeah, I can just kind of draw this little extra nub in. And that's the finger stub, right? There's a podcast called Trailer Tales my girlfriend loves to watch. And they have a segment on there called Nubs of the Nation, where people send in photos of like their missing fingers or their missing toes and things like that, and they rate them, I guess. My grandfather was missing 3 fingers on his left hand. So he's very careful to do the more dangerous work with his left hand, because he knew good and well how that could go. Turns out he was right. So by the time I came around, he had only his index finger and thumb on his left hand. He was a farmer. He owned he ran his own farm and couldn't really take time off just because he lost some fingers. So got back to work as soon as he can, and before too long he basically, you could have a bucket with like 50 pounds of water or something like that, and he'd just pick it up with his index finger and walk around with it like it was nothing. Do I have ready prices for commission, or is it per project? So these commissions, excuse me, get a quick stretch in. These commissions were done at a deep discount, because that's why they're the emergency kitty commissions. Our cat had a big vet bill, and these helped pay for that. It went really well, got a lot, but having that kind of discount and getting that kind of attention is why these are so unbelievably late. So I don't know what my rate will be on these the next time I do them. I'm probably gonna wait a little bit before I open up again. I say hopefully, basically, but I will say the next time I open these up, I am gonna have to bump those prices up, and I don't know to what yet. Still something pretty reasonable. The whole reason I started doing these in this style was because I wanted to have some commissions that somebody could get. That, like, I don't know. I wanted some. Animation takes forever. Animation's very expensive, and I wanted to see if I could come up with a style that would let me offer a price point that more people could hit. And I definitely did that. But you know, if I got somewhat, if I was getting enough attention that it, you know, people had to wait 4, 5, 6 months before they could get their commission, then something's gone wrong. I don't know, it's tricky. If I had my druthers, I would just give everything away for free. But I have to pay my rent every month, so... No, I don't think I like that hand. I liked it in the sketch, and I don't like it in reality. Just bring this down. Do it. I'm gonna leave it for now. I'll come back to it when it's revisions time. Because I don't know why I don't like it. Maybe... Ooh, wait. What if this was like that? I like it a lot more all of a sudden. Huh, I did not expect that to be the problem. Maybe I'll hate it again when it's revisions time, but you can't fix something that doesn't exist yet. So let's get this done and then we'll start prettying stuff up. So I guess I just have the far arm to do. What does this look like with the... Oh, you know what? His head should have another neckline, because that's why that's looking so weird. Got it in one. Got it. Oh, maybe. Is that a bit of a tangent? Is that a little too close to... Overthinking it. That is still a little bit too close, but I liked it for a reason, so let it go. The far arm, I guess, is all that's left on him. What time are we at? We are at... It's 2 o'clock, so I've been doing it for an hour and a half. I was really hoping to at least get both character art in today, but maybe not. Back arm would be behind everything. A, R, M, and B for back. Yeah, I was futzing with the music, trying to figure out what I wanted it to be. Now we're back on Leon, and Leon stuff tends to blast a little bit. I get a little bit more money. I want to drop some on some more streaming music. Right now, most, not all, comes from Infloris Records. I was lucky enough to get to like internet meet somebody over there, and they put me on the whitelist so that ostensibly I should never get yelled at for using their music. But I also like to actually pay for whatever I'm using. Just seems the thing to do. So that's going to be something I invest in once money flow gets a little more predictable. We'll call it that. This is another song I used in the demo reel, actually. I was using Leon for a while. Oh yeah, Leon, incidentally. Leon Chang, actual name. Find him on different socials. Usually Leon spelled Lewon, sorry, Leyyawn, Lee Yawn, just has a blanket statement of like, hey, I'm not going to put out DMCA notices for anyone using my stuff. Go ahead, if you're not profiting, if you're just like doing a stream or whatever, and it's not like, you know, you're not making thousands and thousands of dollars a year or anything like that on it, no, just have at. Which is why I'm using some of Leon's music, because that's a good way to be. We want to encourage people that are a good way to be. Okay, this arm is still giving me some grief. I'm still a little worried about it. Let's go for it and see what happens. Let's see. Here's the arm going into the cuff. I really liked the shorthand I had for that. The other one. And then let's do overlapping bits, but kind of like that maybe. Maybe that's not enough. Oh hell, I don't know what I want. Like that. Oh, I do like that actually. It's like just, probably need some tweaking, but that's like just far enough in. That doesn't feel like a tangent if I do that. Not that I'm a tangent purist, but like all things in art, must be done with intentionality. Okay, the hand, which I'm still kind of scared of. Let me look back at, let's look back at our cartoon again. If we can get some, if we can reorient ourselves a little bit to some good hand shapes. Certainly no coffee claws in this, but there's good stuff in here anyway. It's a little hard to see everyone's hand because the color got so... The colors are so deep and rich to begin with. And she's very delicate when she's grabbing things. This is also just a good cartoon with weird music. If you're ever looking for such a thing. Alright. It's got something in my brain at least. Yeah, that feels good. We're real close to the color though, so I worry about readability because I am an animator. It's gotta be readable, oh, but it's also gotta look good. Terrible, terrible burdens placed upon me. Follow D's, gotta be behind everything else. Send to Bic. And you know, I've been doing blocking in front of that kind of thing, but I don't need to. It's inconsistent with the other hand, and I wonder if that's not visually confusing. Wouldn't be me if I didn't overthink every decision I made. Don't like it. Why? What don't I like about it? You can't kick this one down the road. Alright, so let's math this out again. You know what it is? That's the like palm of the hand right there. There's the like thumb. The thumb is fine. It's the palm of the hand needs to continue. There's like no. His hand is all fingers. There's no palm. That's why it looks bad. So the whole coffee's got to shift over probably. Be something more like, so here's like that, and then what? And then here's the other, no. It'd be something like that. I don't want to just, oh, or can I just, maybe. Maybe it would be something more like, can't I see your onion skins? Show me the onion skins. That's right layer. Got the skins. Little line going left from the wrist before starting the finger. Yeah, that's the thing. Is I think that's what I'm missing. And that's why the wrist seems to not exist. I just have to like figure out where that line should go. I also can't figure out why I can't see my onion skins all of a sudden. See on everybody else. Maybe I can't. No, I can't. Why can't I? Turned on. Oh, it's because I'm in the rendered thing. You ridiculous thing, you. Be like, huh? That. Duh. This also might be a little bit too Eagle Claw-y. I haven't decided yet. And then like this went like that. And then maybe like that. There's something there. Like that's something, but it's like it's not the solution, but it's an idea. Here's the coffee. finger in depth a little bit. Not that we want anything to feel too volumetric with what we're going for, but now his thumb's enormous. So like, duh. It's also kind of a different angle, so he's like twisting myself up into a pretzel to like work out what this looks like. You know what? Maybe I'm just showing entirely the wrong part of it, because yeah, not to get hung up on again the reality of it. That's the least important thing in what we're doing right now. But it should be the facing fingers, basically. It should be like, so here's ga, 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 blah, blah. All right. So it would be these fingers would kind of be facing us like in front, like that. Yeah, the last the last sketch I just did, like I said, there's something there, but I think it's the wrong drawing for this pose specifically. I think if he was just like up and he had this coffee at his side while he was walking, that would be the right thing. But it's not this. It's not like what we're actually looking at here. And then that would put the thumb behind, which is right. And then you have the fingers in front. Oops. Like kind of like that. Okay, yeah, that's so now we're in the weird. Now we're in that weird spot where like that's more correct, but it's less fun. It's less appealing. And also, we probably need to move the coffee cup itself a little bit. Okay. The coffee cup should kind of be at the base of its palm, which would be closer to here. Art is complicated. It's kind of one of the most annoying things about drawing is you kind of got to figure out. You kind of have to just be a little bit of an expert on everything in the goddamn world. I know that, you know, some people are hand people. Some people love drawing a hand, and they're so good at it, and then they make it so expressive and so much fun. But I ain't them, and I'm not a guy who has like. Let's send out for. Let's go get a ringer for this commission. That's alright. I think I'm getting there. So then, like, this would be the knuckles. And then if I push these in further, I still get to have that nice little popped out index finger. Looking a little bit robot-y in a way, which isn't always an insult, but it's not quite what I want. Maybe I need to add cause this is kind of a bullshit 2-knuckle finger instead of a proper 3-knuckled one. So maybe it needs another one. Well, maybe. Art. I'm like so close. Oh, hands. So what if we lean harder into the knuckle, kind of broadcast that. I still think a 2-knuckle finger is what's called for here. How exactly should it look? Yeah, that's the other thing. I think that's what's happening is I'm losing track of like I gotta make sure these are still like tubes. Make sure that these are still like connected things. I'm letting the going full abstract in a way I oughtn't. Again, I can do it for myself here. You know, I'm working really hard to accent that index finger. But I'm noticing when I do it, I kind of grab with both of these. So what if I did kind of had these together a little bit and then pop up the pinky? Oh, that's... I didn't get it in one, but that's my solution. Is something doing that. And then the usual iteration. Do it over and over and over again until it looks good. This is still kind of the same. All right. Let's make those lines actually look good. So I can go like this. Here's the popped up pinky. Okay. Hand, cuff. I'm terrified of how much of this stream's time has been dedicated solely to this hand. Oh, boy. I think that's it. Or I'm close at least. Instead of having the pinky curl back in, have it kind of tea party out a little bit. Oh, I'm so close. Almost got it. Now I get it. Let's go. No one. Okay. All right. That's not the final art. It is so damned close. Okay, so. Go away. Bingies. Nope, not you. Okay, so. Coffee cup, I said, needs to move over. So it's actually like kind of resting under the butt of the palm. And again, like all of this to make it look not remotely realistic at all. But it's hard to describe. Like we don't want it to be realistic, but we're stylizing a real thing that happens. So like I don't know. It all falls apart if it doesn't properly emulate reality, if I can say that without sounding pretentious. I bump into that a lot, where like I'm just trying to describe the like actual thing I'm trying to do, and I can't describe it without like falling back into like some sort of like pretentious or like academic language, just because like, well, I think it's something where like regular people don't have to think about this stuff, so we don't have regular people words to describe it. Okay. That's so close. That's so close. Why isn't it it? It's something to do with the shape of the thumb. That's killing it for me. See, the thing is, now it doesn't look like he's doing a coffee clutch. It looks like he's like... It looks like there's a turd in it. Like he's afraid to... It's like he's afraid to... Like it's gross for him to carry. That's because it's not pulled in enough. And then it's like fart. Yeah, like I built a hand that's more structurally coherent, but now it doesn't actually match the mood that I want to convey. So, cool. One more again. So his arm is above his head. You cannot see me acting this out, but I should see a lot. I should actually see a lot of the back of his hand. Here, get rid of these. So too much like there was also like way that's always hard too, because like when you open up your hand like that, you make that like giant bat wing between your thumb and your index finger, and you actually do pick up a ton of space. But again, if you're not evoking it properly, then it's just wrong. So since it's dangling, again, he's like gripping it, but it's like dangling, so his back of his hand is actually kind of loosely coming down like that. Then his fingers should pop out, which would mean his thumb is like that. His knuckles would be like about here-ish, so it'd be like nah. Oh, Jesus, there it is. Okay. A little too big, but I'm figuring out the actual shape of it. Oh, that's what it was. I was like, this is something. It's the spot. It's the parts of the anatomy that aren't like the active thing, that aren't the like exciting thing you're thinking about. So they're the stuff that like disappears because you don't think about it. And then what if his pinky, what if this comes out farther and this pinky just like straight up? Oh, Jesus. There it is. There it actually is. Killing myself for that. All right. Cool. All right. So, final answer. What if I just go dut? Let's go bump. Because I could just do this like that, but then you're losing the knuckle behind the thumb. I guess it's just the butt of the hand. Yeah, you're losing the butt of the hand, and to get rid of that entirely would just be too feminine. Not to make this whole thing smack of gender, but again, this is about how hot this guy is, and the things that make this guy hot specifically are the things that make him masculine. Bop. And then bump. And then bump. And then bump. Alright, and then this, that, and then this pinky would be like that big. Zoom out. Oh, so close. There's like fine detail bits to work out. But I'm so close. Brr. Yeah, it's got to be 3 o'clock. Oh, no, not 3 o'clock. It's got to be like 2:30 by now, but not as bad as I thought it would be. Okay. So this is close. What's wrong? I'm also losing some of that kind of tubular volume. So what if this connects out like that? Then, because this is like, that's the knuckle line. Oh, do I need that? Do I need to like actually draw the knuckle line in? Does that solve all my problems? I can bring these down a little bit more maybe. Yeah, the copy probably needs to be lowered just even further, but okay, yeah. Yeah, boy. You never know what's gonna blindside you. Save, damn it, save. Yeah, whatever I was doing was not the thing to do. This is what I'm looking for. Okay. So we got, I would love to be able to have this be one line, because that feels like it's what I'm doing, but like I said, that's not gonna, it's just gonna, it's gonna make him just slim and slender enough. And like this guy is I don't know, he's not like a mountain man, but he is a man. Don't get it twisted. If I don't make him feel like that, that's such a dumb habit of mine. I get like so hung up on like not everything's about gender, which means I'm constantly making everything about gender. But to be perfectly blunt, if I don't make him masculine enough, then this piece isn't going to be gay enough. And not on my watch. Not on my watch. Send it back. Cool. I'm going to combine these. Rock. Okay. See some stuff I want to tweak already, but I'm getting there. but I just do. There it is. Oh yeah. Formar says, I'm glad you're streaming because it's keeping me from being distracted by other things and helping him work. Yeah, there's a reason I stream these commissions, because I got really, really behind on them. I kept just putting them off in favor of other things, or maybe just in favor of bullshit. And it's not the best habit to have in somebody who is a freelance, works freelance. But nah, I do work a little better when I'm supervised. So these streams mean I'm like on task and actually working on these things. Because when I'm not, you can see that I'm not. Why am I fretting about this? The whole point of that color is to basically provide knockout. Okay, so that's still not perfect. But looking at it in the thing, in the like preview, in the, what is the, your upper right, that does look a world better. I know you should be able to see this part of the thumb. So like maybe one of these, something like that. Oops, not that bad. That helps. That's better. But that means that the coffee cup's in the wrong place. So what if the coffee cup isn't, if it's not straight up and down? What if the thumb is hidden a little further back? Give it a bit more depth, so something like that maybe? And now he's not grabbing enough of it. I gotta put the cup back where it was. Alright, honestly, that's probably fine for right now, he said, continuing to revise. Up, and then if I give the cup a little bit of fake depth, all of a sudden a bunch of my problems get solved. Dope. Gotta be coming up on time, or pretty close to time. Like I said, I like doing these two, maybe 3 hours, but as I said, I am a freelance. I do work freelance, and Chaboy's got other stuff he needs to start working on too. Yeah, I would have loved to have gotten the other characters' art in today, but that may just not be in the cards. Oops. There we go, a little extra blocking just in case. Definitely better. Thumb still feels imperfect. That helps a lot. It helps a lot actually. Get the pad of the thumb out further. All right, I've at least got the mood I'm shooting for there. Oh yeah, I can only imagine how just trying to manage. I'm not even talking just in terms of processing power, but just trying to manage utility-wise doing an art stream from a laptop. That sounds like a nightmare. Well, I got one character finished, but it looks like this is going to be maybe a 3-stream project. But for what it's worth, I like where I'm landing so far. All of these hands we had to fight our way through. Let me actually get those hands shoved off the timeline so I know what we're actually sticking with. Oh, we got Azrael done. The other guy will have to be next time. I can also see, you know what? I even see a lot in the other guy's sketch that I want to change. So maybe it will be better to just go and hit him fresh. I'm not streaming every day. I've been trying to stream. The goal was 2 to 3 times a week. I've yet to have a 3-day. I've yet to have a 3-stream week. Maybe I'll shoot for that next week. I don't know. I will announce on all of my, well, and all of my, I'll announce on my Blue Sky, which is Quillman, QWILMAN.BSKY.social. I'll announce when the next week's streams are. Yeah, and I realize I usually stream these around 12:30. It is just the time that works for me. I realize that the overwhelming majority of people are working at the time, so it is what it is. But there's video on demands of all my streams on Patreon if you ever want to watch the ones you missed. Otherwise, I'll be picking this up next time. Sometime next week. I'll see if I can squeeze in 3 next week. I'm not about to promise it because I know myself well enough to know what tends to trip me up. But in the meantime, here's where we're leaving off. I think that is not a bad spot to leave off at all. And I will just keep on doing these rambles and explanations forever until I leave. So find all my socials on the card on the screen, QWILMAN.CARRD.CO. Got a Patreon, patreon.com/Quillman. That's where you see all the previous VODs, little file tours, stuff like that. I don't know who I'm saying this to. There's 2 people in the stream. One of them's somebody who knows me personally, and everybody else who's watching this is watching the VOD, so they're already subscribed. Thank you, everybody who is watching and did watch. I hope you have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.